Hey you guys, it's Peter, and I'm back. Of course I'm back, I'm not going anywhere. Beast! Peekaboo, I see you because I'm YouTube famous now. Available in the spring of 2029, the album, Dad AF. Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies, shimmy shimmy. Tell me lies, Trisha Paytas. So this is gonna be, tell me lies, Trisha Paytas, or did you just change your mind? Beast! There's a fine line between lying and changing your mind, Trisha Paytas. So this is not a Deaf Noodles video. Even though this is my comedy store, as you know, because of my plans, so you're from Detroit. But anyway, this is not a Deaf Noodles video. This is a Trisha Paytas video. And I honestly, I really didn't think that I was going to film this video today. I was going to take today and tomorrow off from filming the new videos, but I started getting all of these people DMing me, telling me about this video that Trisha put up yesterday. So I went over to it, and before I even watched the video, because the video is like 35 minutes long, and I was like, what is this 35-minute video? It's called Regrets. And it's currently sitting at something like, I think, well, I actually have it pulled up. It's sitting at 52,000 views, and she posted it yesterday. Not one of her highest viewed videos. This is on her main channel. Her ASMR videos are getting a lot more views than that at this point. But anyway, before I even started watching the video, I was like looking at the comments, and I was so kind of surprised about the comments, because the comments were like, oh my God, Trisha, you're so changed. You're such a new, mature Trisha Paytas. Oh my God, Trisha, the self-reflection in this video is amazing. And I was like, what is going on here? What's this self-reflection that is going on with Trisha Paytas? I have to find out about this, right? But before I did that, I had to catch up on my TV shows. Y'all know I love my TV shows, okay? So I had to watch the newest episode of 5 Days at Memorial. Oh! Are you guys watching a show on Apple TV? Apple TV is putting out some fantastic shows. Just finished the series Loot, which got renewed for a second season. Just finished, I don't know, like a month ago, Severance, which got renewed as well. And now I'm watching 5 Days at Memorial, which is about Hurricane Katrina and the aftermath at this hospital memorial in New Orleans. And it's so tragic and so sad. And the episode that they put out yesterday was probably the hardest one to watch this season. But the show is just done so fantastically well. And then I'm watching La Brea, which, if you don't know what La Brea is, it is about a bunch of people that fall into a sinkhole in Los Angeles, and then they fall to 10,000 BC. It's kind of like Lost, but not. And I'm totally obsessed and addicted to it. So then, when I got done with that, I watched this Trisha Paytas video. And I started watching it, and at the beginning of the video, like, I didn't even know that it was going to be an assumptions video, because she kind of like just right off the bat, she starts talking about how there's a difference between lying and changing your mind. And I'm like, well, yes, girl, we know that, right? So anyway, so I go into this, and I'm like I said, I'm like reading the comments, and I'm like, okay, wait a second. Peter, you're going to need to take some notes on this, okay? So I actually took notes. I have 10 points right here that you can see. So I want to go into this, and I kind of just want to explain point by point a lot of what she talks about. Much of the video is, so what she does is she goes in and she kind of addresses this lying versus changing your mind situation at the beginning, which I want to talk about in just a second. But then she goes in and she starts reading people's assumptions about her, right? And a lot of the assumptions are just things like, you don't like vinegar, and she's like, no, I don't really like the smell of vinegar. Sometimes I cook with it, but I don't like anyway, it's stuff like that. A lot of it is about people asking her about OnlyFans and if she's going to continue it and things like that. And she talks about, you know, that she really is supportive of the platform of OnlyFans, and especially for women, and that she thinks that, you know, she's very encouraging of women being able to have their own platform on OnlyFans and make their own money. And it's like the easiest place for them to do that and be in control of their own business and things like that. So she talks a lot about that on there as well. But much of it is her talking about regrets from her past, people saying that she's miserable and that she's going to always be miserable and that she doesn't take accountability for her actions and that she lies and on and on and on. And the thing about it is, when you're watching it, okay, that it's interesting because there is a piece to this that feels a little different to me. And I don't know what this is about. You know, there were a lot of people, they weren't all great comments. I will say that. You know, Trisha Paytas is somebody that I have not found in the past, and I could be wrong about this, but she is not somebody that seems to me to delete a lot of comments. Like, she just kind of lets whatever is said. And so there were several negative there were many negative comments on there, right? And people were saying things like, you know, you're just putting this out there because you need money right now and whatever. The thing is that or that you're putting this out there now because of the, you know, you're starting this family channel and so you're trying to like clean the air and whatever. The thing that's interesting about this video is that there is an essence of it that is a little bit different than how she has spoken in the past about her scandals and her being offensive to other communities and her being offensive to other people directly and her taking responsibility somewhat about being bitter and jealous. This is the thing though, and this is what's really important about this video to understand in relation to all of the videos that I have done in the past covering Trisha Paytas and all the other videos that people have done and people talking about Trisha Paytas, that people always say that Trisha has like no awareness of her own hurting other people, hurting communities, or whatever. This video pretty much clarifies that she has full awareness that she has in the past hurt other communities, been offensive to people, and that she knows why she does that. She even understands why she does that, okay? But I didn't hear any apology in this video, and that's the thing, right? Is that I think for her to just come out and say, like, you know, I did that and that wasn't okay, is her sense of apologizing. But there's no, like, I'm going to apologize, and what I need you guys to know is, because this for me would be accountability and apologizing would be, you guys, I understand that in the past I have hurt this community. I need to apologize sincerely to this community and say, at that time, I was, you know, bitter and angry and I was hurt and I was lashing out. I apologize to you directly. It won't happen again. And show that by her actions, right? Like, I think that needs to be done in some kind of video. This did not happen in this video. And so this is where, when she says, I've always taken accountability for my actions and my mistakes, which she does say in this video, there's no truth to it whatsoever. And so this is kind of the closest that we're going to ever get to any kind of apology. But I think what you need to know is that she fully understands and is aware of what she has done in the past. She understands why she trolled. She understands what she was putting out there. She understands why she was doing it. And she understands that it was hurtful to other people, right? So we can't play this game when it comes to Trisha, that she just didn't know and that she was unaware and that she doesn't have that kind of awareness. Because those are the kind of conversations that typically occur whenever I do a video about Trisha. People will say, Trisha doesn't really have the awareness to understand how she's affected other people. Go watch this video and you will see point by point that she goes in there and she explains that she was fully aware and understood what she was doing at those times. So let me get into this video, okay? So at the very beginning of it, she goes in there and she talks about changing your mind and is not the same thing as lying, okay? And she kind of goes into this whole thing about it, and that people are always kind of the whole video, even though I will say that at times, like, don't forget, she's an actress, okay? So at times it comes across as if she, like, has had this, like, spiritual awakening and has all this awareness, right? But it also comes across as a very teachy kind of moment, which I don't love from YouTubers that are taking accountability. I'm just always like, that's not the time. And so she goes into this whole thing talking about lying versus changing your mind. And she's really trying to teach people at the same time by saying that, you know, she never really lies. She really just changes her mind. And what was interesting was, while I was watching this video, right underneath it was this video by Illuminati. Hold on, let me see if I have the video pulled up here. The video was called, because I was going to link it for you guys. The video is called Trisha Paytas lied about her baby. Okay, so I go in and I watch this video before I'm, like, watching the rest of it. And what the whole video is about is that Trisha Paytas lied about this baby name, and her supposedly saying that she was allegedly going to maybe, like, she liked the name Egypt for a baby name for a girl, okay? And if you watch this video clip, which is literally about 2 minutes long, I will link it underneath her, and I don't know anything about this channel, I don't know if they're problematic, or I don't know anything about them, okay? All I know is that this video shows that Trisha Paytas flat out lied, okay? And so what it shows is it shows this clip of Trisha saying, I don't know where people came up with me saying that I was going to name my baby Egypt. Like, I never said that. I don't know where that came from. And then it flashes to a video of her and Moses, and they're kind of throwing names out there. And Moses says something about the name Egypt, and she says, yeah, and he goes for a girl. And she's like, yeah, I kind of like that. And they discuss it. And so it shows that she has discussed it in the past, right? So here's the thing. That's not changing your mind. That's a lie. You were talking about it in a video and now you didn't. Now, there is a difference between lying and forgetting something. If Trisha Paytas wanted to get in a video and say, I totally just forgot, you know, that I had talked about it in a previous video, I think that's forgivable. I think for her to say, because I vlog every night, I forget a lot of what I say, right? So I understand Trisha getting in a video and saying, I don't remember even ever saying anything about a baby name called Egypt. The problem is that Trisha comes across very condescending towards her audience, which is really the ones that are saying to her, you're lying about this, you're lying about that. She comes across as very condescending. She calls them haters, she calls them trolls, she calls, you know, weirdos, things like that. And basically what she says is, you know, like, you're calling me a liar and I'm not a liar, and then people are showing evidence of her lying, and she comes across as very condescending and says, no, I'm changing my mind, okay? That's not changing your mind. That's not like saying that, you know, you go to Cheesecake Factory and you really like the brown bread, and then the next week you go there and you go, I don't like the brown bread anymore, I like the white bread, okay? That's changing your mind, okay? Lying is going to Cheesecake Factory and saying, I didn't eat any bread, and then going back the next day and the waitress or the server says to you, would you like some more of that bread that you ate so much last night? And you go, what are you talking about? I didn't eat any bread last night. And your friends are all looking at you, and the server is sitting there saying, you ate 2 baskets, okay? That's a lie. I think we know which level Trisha Paytas falls in. Okay, now if Trisha wanted to say, I forgot that I ate any bread last night, you know, that's a different story. But Trisha's so condescending to her audience that if you accuse her or you ask her any kind of question whatsoever about, well, you said that this, but now it's this. And this is over the course of her entire career, okay, from day one. So she goes in here and she starts talking about all this kind of stuff, and she says that people asked, she asked people for their assumptions about her. And then she said, the first one was, I'm just going to go through the ones that I picked out to address. That she likes to over-dramatize her life compared to being offline, and that she's different online than offline. And I thought this will be interesting to see how she answers this question, and she said yes. She said, I do. She goes, I over-dramatize, like, who I am online. She goes, at times, you know, obviously with the trolling in the past and the over-dramatizing. And she was pretty honest in that video, because I will tell you, when I met Trisha and went to where she lived and stuff like that, like, she was a very subdued Trisha. Like, she was very friendly and very just like, hey, how are you, and whatever. And I will say I've seen moments of her like that in videos, definitely more in the last 6 months to a year. She says a lot in this video. She says, you know, in the last 6 months to a year, I've been a lot calmer and whatever. So, but I think that goes for any YouTuber. I mean, if y'all think that I just like walk around all day long going, peace, peace, I mean, that's not me, okay? I'm sorry. If you see me in public, I probably don't even have a fan. Okay? But anyway, definitely not this one that's fried. But so I understand, you know, that Trisha is like an entertainer and whatever, and so she is, but that would be funny if I walked around like that all day long, right? So anyway, you know, and she says on there that she really wanted to get attention, and she talks a lot in here about attention and wanting attention, and that she didn't really have any friends, and she wasn't dating anybody, and she was jealous of people that had friends and had friend groups and that were dating people. And so she would do a lot of these like extreme things on YouTube to get attention from people, okay? And I'm like, okay, finally, we're getting to, and this is where you can't watch this video and then later, like this is where Trisha cannot come out later and say, okay, like I had no awareness. I didn't know what I was doing in my past. I didn't know I was hurting people, because she straight up says it in this video. What she doesn't do is she doesn't take any accountability. She doesn't apologize for her actions, okay? She takes it as far to the line as she possibly can go, and then she stops, okay? So let me go on with my notes here. For example, she talks about the trolling, okay? And she says, as long as she's not hurting other people, because that's not good. And I'm like, Trisha, so much of your trolling, like literally 80 to 90%, especially if you talk about the last 3 to 5 years, is really been offensive and hurtful to many, many communities. And there's never been any discussion later about where you stand. I mean, we could come up with 5 to 10 different communities that she has been directly offensive to. And when I was reading the communities, or when I was reading the comments underneath her video, several people from those communities were like, okay, Trisha, you're admitting to the trolling, but you came up with this whole storyline of who you were and how this affected you and all this kind of stuff. And then there's no playthrough whatsoever. There's no like discussion about like how this affects you today, or how you're dealing with it. And so, you know, we related to it, and then we looked at that, and then it's just like, what are we supposed to do with it? Is it true? Is it not true? Was it ever true? Are you a liar? Is it just you changed your mind about these huge issues? You know, and I said one time in a video a while ago, I said, with Trisha, it's not that she just has 1 issue or 2 issues or 3 issues or 4 issues. She literally has like 10 issues, okay, that she has used. It's like she has cherry-picked issues through the years that she's going to say, this has been a big issue. Do I believe that some of those issues for her are true? Absolutely, 100%. Do I think that she has gone through some true hell in the last couple years? Absolutely. Do I think that all of it is true? No, I don't. Come for me. I don't care, okay? I think that's been proven enough at this point that she will talk about something for a month, and then she'll go and talk about it. And if you dare come for her, or you dare criticize it, or you dare question it, it's like, how dare you do that? And then she stops talking about it in a moment, and then there's no discussion about it whatsoever, you know? It's like, I can't tell you how many people I have seen recently that said, you know, what about her changing her whole channel to being called Hare Krishna, and she was going to go and donate money to all of these, you know, kids in India. Like, whatever happened to that? She came out and said that, you know? No discussion about it whatsoever. And I think that's what people's issue is that, okay, fine, you're saying that you're not offending communities. You've offended, and that's not okay. If you're only doing it to yourself, who are you hurting? That's where I feel like she's a little misguided, or she excuses things because she doesn't really realize, or she doesn't want to realize how many people she has truly, truly hurt, you know? Because you can have somebody that is a fan of you, that just watches you, that you're going through something, and they go, oh my God, like, Trisha's going through this, I've been going through this too, I so relate to it. Like, the fact that Trisha is going through this, like, that this is helping me so much. And when there's no follow through with that whatsoever, even if, Trisha, you're the only person that you think that that's hurting, you have now hurt that fan, because that fan has been relating to you and been looking to you for some kind of, I don't know, like, leadership on that, or some kind of, like, telling your story or whatever, and then there's no follow through, and you just stop talking about it. Like, that is hurtful to that person. That person feels like all of a sudden they were just abandoned on this issue that for you was for views and clicks and subscribers, okay? And I'm not saying all of her issues, because I don't believe that. I'm just saying for some of them. And I think that's the other thing, is at this point we don't know what is the truth and what's not, right? But the last time I said that in a video, I got completely chewed alive, right? So we won't even go there. So then she talks about the trolling. Okay, that's the other part. Then she says, if she's being offensive for no reason, that's no good. And she has to be better for her husband and for her daughter, okay? Now, this is a really important part of the video, because what she is saying is that if she's trolling, if she's putting out their hurtful content, if she is doing things that, like, she is saying things about other people, she goes in this whole thing about celebrity gossip, and she doesn't do that anymore, and whatever, and basically what she's saying is, anybody that gossips, drama channels included, and anybody else, you're all sinners of the world. She's not a Christian! Ouija board. boards. But anyway, basically what she's saying is she's so above celebrity gossip. Well, girl, that was what 9 years or 15 years of your whole channel was built on, okay? Was parodying these celebrities and talking about people online and causing your own drama and whatever. I'm glad at 15 years you're over it now. I still got 9 years to go on my channel, okay? So I'll catch up with you in 9 years. But I'm a drama commentary channel and that's what I do. So it's always that where it's kind of condescending. But the reason why this comment is so important is because in this comment, what Trisha is saying is, I realize for the good of the people in my life that I have to rise above and be a better person. I congratulate that. I think that's phenomenal that she feels that way. I really, really do, you know? And I can understand that she wants to be a better person for her husband and for her family and things like that, right? Okay. But when you make a comment like that, what you realize is I haven't been in the past, okay? And I have been hurtful to people in the past. And I don't want to do that anymore going forward, right? So this is the acknowledgement of the behaviors from the past. The problem is there's, again, this is about as far with acknowledgement as she's going to get. But there's no apology, okay? There's no like taking, later in the video, she says something about taking ownership. Hold on a second. She says, where was it? It's like my 9th point. It is my 9th point. She says, I've always owned up to my mistakes. I know it sounds, and then people are always saying, you know, do you want to be miserable? And she's like, I'm not miserable, I'm happy, and I've always owned up to my mistakes. And she's like, I know that sounds patronizing. It doesn't sound patronizing. It sounds like a lie or a lack of acknowledgement or awareness because you haven't owned up to your mistakes. And she's like, people have either accepted it or they haven't accepted it. Now, I don't know who she's talking about, okay? I don't know if she's talking about people coming that she goes directly to, that they have said, hey, you know, peace, you know, let's not have this arguing anymore. I don't know if she's talking about whole communities online, because I have yet to see where Trisha Paytas has taken full responsibility for her actions online to very specific communities that she has hurt and offended, okay? I have yet to see that. And I think, to be honest, Trisha is probably in the top 10 of any YouTuber that has mocked, ridiculed, and parodied many different communities, at the most communities. So do I think she owes an apology to those people? Absolutely. Okay, so she talks about when she was single, she was bitter and she was jealous, and therefore she would attack people. And she wanted other people to be miserable with her. And yet again, and like I said, this is where people, I think in the comment section, like this is where it's very like divided, and people are like, oh wow, like this is growth in Trisha. This is like, Trisha is growing up. She's maturing, you know? Trisha's in her 30s, okay? A 30-year-old woman to be able to acknowledge and say, when I was single and I had no friends because I never went anywhere, I was very bitter and I attacked people online, should also be able to say in that same moment, and that was not right, and I apologize to anyone that I hurt in that moment, because I was hurting, and hurt people, and therefore I was attacking people. And if you are somebody out there that felt attacked by me, I apologize. If you have suggestions for what I can do to make that right, please let me know in the comment section below. But I would like to rectify the wreckage of my past and make it right. Going forward, so that I can be a better person for myself and my family, I want to clean up the wreckage of my past. I want to take accountability, okay? I want to apologize to every person out there that I've hurt. But to say, okay, I have taken accountability for every mistake that I've ever made. Girl, seriously, okay, is this a game show? Like, I'm confused. Where's the joke? Oh my God, it's my comedy show. I forgot. This is the joke, right? That she's taking accountability. And this is where I think, like, she takes it as far as she can. And I'm watching this and I'm like, okay, this is a lot. This is awareness. But really what it is yet again a lot of smoke and mirrors, because this is as far as Trisha's going to go. Trisha's going to take this as far as she can, but she cannot apologize. She just can't. And I think part of it for her is that she has played the game of YouTube for a very long time, and she knows if she gets in a video and she apologizes, that down the road, if she does something different, that people will say, well, Trisha apologized for this, and now here she's going back on her apology. I don't know why she would care, because it's just a lot of this back and forth that she's done on YouTube before. But for her, I think at this point, she is really, I think there is a part of her that is conflicted in her head because she does want to kind of do better, but she doesn't really know how to get there fully, you know, if that makes sense. And so she can't go there and say, I apologize. Like, this could have been that video for her, right? But it just was a missed opportunity for me. So she goes in and talks about that. She goes in there and talks about hiding behind this character that was jealous and bitter. And so she would do all this kind of like, you know, these trolling, and that was her like hiding behind this character a lot. Then she goes in and she talks about all of this like negative feedback that she's already getting on her family channel. And she talks about, she first talks about some comment that she gets about, I think it's like the car seat or something like that, and where she's putting it. And she's like, I really appreciate people like giving me that feedback, because like that's good to hear. But like a lot of people are just like, they just like, do they even have kids? And they want to give me this feedback and whatever. And I'm like, girl, you hate us drama channels, but you should have listened to us when we told you, okay? This is what goes along with having a family channel. And she goes in there and she defends it, and she says, like, I don't want a family channel where I show all of this. Like, girl, I'm telling you again, okay? This family channel, there's going to be a lot of this kind of negative criticism that comes along with it. So if you sign up for it, you know, it's like, you don't sign up for the biggest roller coaster in the world and then you get off of it and you go, why do I feel like I'm going to throw up? Okay? You signed up for it. You knew you were getting on the biggest roller coaster in the world. That's what you're signing up for as a family channel. Family channels are probably the highest criticized channels on YouTube as we speak. Many of them are closing down right now. This is not a wise move for Trisha. I don't know what she's thinking, but she's going to do it anyway. But she's going to come for the people that are criticizing her and giving her suggestions and saying they don't know what they're talking about. So, okay. So then that's when she says that she's owned up to her mistakes and that she knows it's patronizing, blah, 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 whatever. Then at the end of it, she talks about, and this was nice, I don't often hear Trisha say this in her videos, she talks about how grateful she is, and she talks about that she's really, really thankful to the people that watch her videos, and that it encourages her to want to continue to share her story on YouTube and things like that, and I like that. I like that she does that. That's something that I do a lot in my videos. If you guys watch, you know that I'm extremely grateful to all of you that watch my videos and allow me to have this life. And this is the one thing that I will say, you know, like, I do believe that Trisha loves YouTube, okay? I think that she loves the platform of YouTube. I think she loves the ability to be creative on YouTube. I think at some point, I'm not really sure what happened. I think it's when she started getting more criticism, because I saw the same thing happen with Amberlynn Reid. Not to compare the two. Amberlynn would love that so much if I compared her to Trisha Paytas. But I do think that the same thing happened with both of them. That it was like at the point where the comments became mostly negative comments, it's like this I don't, you know, give a F attitude kind of kicked in. And then it was like, I'm just here for the views and the money and the subs. And at that point, it stopped being about the audience and about the excitement and the passion of making videos. Although I will say, on Trisha's ASMR channel, I do see kind of the passion and the excitement that I used to see back in the day on Trisha's videos, right? So I don't know, maybe that's her way of reinventing herself. I do not think that this family channel is a great idea at all. I think if she cannot handle one comment about a car seat, God knows what she's going to get when she starts filming videos over there, okay? She does come out and address the fact that people are speculating that she's going to do this and she's going to do this on lives and whatever, and she's like, there's no truth to that whatsoever. So I don't know about all of that. But I do think that Trisha really loves, you know, YouTube. And so what I was saying was, like, with Amberlynn Reid, it was like at the point where Amberlynn was getting like mostly dislikes and all negative comments, she was like, forget it. I'm going to feed the negativity on my channel at this point. You know, I'm going to feed the trolls, and then the trolls are going to be the people that watch my videos. And so basically what you're doing is the trolls are paying your rent, okay? And I think to some degree, Trisha has realized, and I think it's directly like this. I think Trisha has lost, like, you know how I always do the percentages, right? So if you take 100% of Trisha Paytas, I think she has lost 50% of her audience of people that are just like, I cannot do this anymore. I am part of one of the communities that you have offended, and I am not down with this, and you will not take accountability, even though you say you've taken accountability. That is not true, and that right there is proof of lying. And so I think she's been left with this 50%. 25% of that 50% are diehard Trishy's Fishies that will never leave her, that will watch her, whatever she puts out, out for the rest of eternity. And the other 25% of this makeup, of this 50%, well, this 50% of, you know what I'm saying, right? The rest of that are trolls, okay? Or people that are watching her negatively to criticize her and are basically hate watching her. And that's what she's going to get. Well, 50% of your audience are people that are negatively watching that, and that's because of your own doing. That's because of you trolling for years and years and years and years and years, and people have fed into that. Then what you have to do is you have to keep on putting out that kind of content to make those people happy, or you're going to lose that, and all you're going to have is your 25% of your Trishy's Fishies, and that don't pay the bills. So it'll be real interesting to see what she does going forward. Anyway, let me know what you think about all of that in the comment section below. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.